Hi there and welcome back to Japan for World Tour Wednesdays, where we are going to be checking out Hello Seahorse with a song that's got a very long name. I'll say it in the reaction. In fact, I just did the reaction. If you want to see that, because I'm about to give you the review, pause this video, click the link in the description below, which will open up a separate little YouTube player where you can watch my reaction if you haven't heard the song, you want to hear it along with me, or if you just want to see how I reacted upon first listening to it a few seconds ago, because I am about to give you the review. Are you ready for the review? Do you want to pause this? If you don't want to pause it, that's okay, because here comes the review. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, so this song was, this was very interesting in that it certainly, you know, obviously most of the time we're checking out Japanese music, and even when we do World Tour Wednesdays, it's usually Asian music. But this really had a very much a Western vibe to it. And so that was interesting, because it's been a while since I've reviewed anything that has been, you know, really clearly of a sort of a Western style. And I must admit that this had a lot of those tropes, but I kind of like the way it was put together. Now, as always, we're on this channel, we talk about the positive and the negative to try and start a bit of conversation. So I try to find the positive and negative in every song. I would say overall, I really like this one. The reason I liked it is because, as I said in the reaction, it's got this really good soundscape. I mean, starting with that kind of echo chambery refrain, the way that all the sounds, like the guitar sounds and everything, were lots of held reverby sounds. The way that the like I say, the kick drum at the beginning of each bar was doing a little bub, which kind of gave it almost like a heartbeat feel. There was this feeling that there was a sort of a tension to it all. And you know, sometimes when you put all the sum of all the pieces put together, I guess you'd say in any good piece of music, is a real clear emotional drive, a real sense of what the feeling's supposed to be. And that's where this song particularly excelled. I thought the singer's voice as well was just kind of perfectly suited for it. Everything felt like it had a sort of a really spaced out smoky room vibe, which is why, like I said, I could even forgive the slow motion video. You guys know how much I dislike, if you've been on this for a while, you know how much I dislike slow motion videos, especially ones that are done in artsy black and white, and especially ones where you don't see any full performance of the song, and especially ones where at the end you have no idea what any of it was about. And yet in this, it kind of fitted the mood, because it almost felt like the song was kind of this open-ended thing where it had sort of no resolution. It kind of went round and it never sort of met a crescendo. So in a way that matches up with the video as well. However, that is also part of the problem for me. Like I say, I really like the sound. I really like the feel. I did like the fact that it kind of went round and round and sort of kept you in this soundscape rather than trying to change things too much. It had little changes to keep it interesting, but it didn't go, you know, ever sway too much away from that sort of core sound that the song was building up. I did, however, feel that there was room for more of a payoff. I think that these sorts of songs, sometimes when you do something like this, if the song goes round and round with very similar feeling, you can have that crescendo where the feeling sort of changes or builds up to an ending which suddenly appears. You can do something to take advantage of that by then suddenly turning the knob at the end, you know, either upping the emotion or changing the tone to give a conclusion. That might just be my somewhat traditional look at how songwriting works, that I go, I mean, I like experimental music, don't get me wrong, but I do love a song that kind of has an ending, you know, has an ending where you know that it's capped off the message. And these kind of songs where they go round and maintain a feeling are often more difficult for me. In fact, the strange comparison I'll give for people who've been watching this channel for a while is actually with Ningenis. Ningenis is older music. I mean, there's a lot of Ningenis that I really love, but some of their older music where, like I say, they sort of set down this like heavy rock groove. And then by the end, you kind of realise that as much impact as that had at the beginning is kind of lost at the end when there's nothing to round it off, nothing to, if you like, complete the message. And so, yeah, I think that this is very much down to taste. I think this is where my review becomes more subjective, because I know there's a lot of people who really like that style of music where it just sets the soundscape and sticks with it. Just for me, I felt a little bit like I wanted the song to pay off more at the end. However, now knowing that, if I went back to the song knowing that that's what it was and being prepared for that, then I think I could enjoy this just as a weird sort of escapist, chill out song. It certainly, like I say, is more interesting than a lot of other minimalist sort of styled tracks in that all of the pieces really fit together nicely. I love the fact that nothing in the song is complicated, but everything sort of punches through. Like I say, the kick drum just punches through when it needs to. There's that clarity. The sort of guitars and the more sort of mid-range spacey sounds, they pick their parts, they sort of balance each other out nicely. The voice is really nicely done, and the way it changes up between the verses and the refrain. I can't really call it a chorus, to be fair. There's a feeling this is really well crafted, really well balanced. Maybe not the sort of thing I would usually listen to, but I'm a great appreciator of anything that is, I want to say different. I may be different from what we usually listen to on this channel, but anything that kind of has its own sense of purpose and really seems to lean into that. So to me, I just feel like this was crafted by someone who really knew what they wanted it to sound like and really got it right. Someone or some people, maybe. I don't know how many members of this group there are, as the video did not allude to anything like that. So anyway, that's my opinion. Like I say, enjoyed this. Certainly would be interested to come back to more. I'm not sure with this sort of group where, if they are mainly doing chill out stuff, I'm not sure I'd have a huge amount to say if they kind of usually go for that kind of soundscapey thing. But it would be interesting to check out a little bit more just to get a bit of a feel for it. And maybe they're going to really surprise me. However, I'm really glad they're added on World Tour Wednesdays. World Tour Wednesdays is here to add some variation to what we listen to and to add some extra musical contrast that we can compare our usual fare of music to. And this really did add something that I don't think we often hear on this channel. So, gracias for suggesting. Now, I'm not going to say they were speaking Mexican like I did before. They're speaking Spanish. I'm not going to make that mistake. You should be proud if I call it Mexican. I'm giving you the language. It's not Spanish anymore. It's your language now. I don't know. Anyway, like I say, big thank you for following. Please get in the comments. Tell me what you think, whether you liked it or not, whether you knew the group or the song before or not. Music's all subjective to opinion, and this channel is all about the conversation. So please do that. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. If you like talking about music, remember our social medias are linked in the description below, where we do a lot of chatting about music on those anyway. And of course, a massive thank you, as always, to our Patreons. You're keeping me alive right now, guys. So, thank you for making it through to the end of the video. And until I see you hopefully very soon for the next one of these from Japan, for now, ciao, ciao.